Good morning, everybody. Mike Vaki, Princetontrader.com, here with your Thursday morning pre-market webcast. Okay, so what do we have? I'm just going to start with the hourly chart because I want to sit down and explain with a little more time what we had yesterday. We had 28.18 was our key area. We talked about it. We talked about how, originally we were looking at resistance at the hourly midband and thinking that compression was going to take us down. They tried it pre-market, but then we basically said, well, it's going to be this hourly midband. It's the dividing line, it's the bull bear, it's support, or it's going to be resistance, and whatever it decides to be is going to set up the rest of the day. It did. So we spent the day long. We walked through a lot of that with people on social, and I'm able to do a lot more of that stuff now. And that's going to carry through the fall and the rest of the year. So I think that's good for people to see how we do things because it's, the best way to see what we're about is to come on in and check it out. But next to that, to the extent we can show you guys, kind of how we do things and how we see things, I think it's helpful. And for those of you out there that just, want to look at, at free stuff and see what people are thinking, I'm going to be right there to provide that for you. So where are we now? Okay. We gapped down on the Facebook thing. Everybody did. Price has been trying to climb back a little bit in the overnight. Midband has been support on the hourly. You can see it heading up into the purple dotted line, which is the daily pivot. I would be very surprised if we didn't fill the gap. And to fill the gap, it's going to have to do about 44. Whether the gap fill is sets up a lower high versus this 49.5, or whether it pushes up and through remains to be seen. If it can't even get back to the gap, then I think we spend the majority of the day, down in this area. So call it, 25 to 32, something like that. So for now, I really want to see what does, call it 35 to 37 want to be. It certainly can't decide in the overnight what it wants to be. So as we get into the regular session, hopefully that will reveal itself a little bit. If you hop out on the daily, you can see it had been riding the 9-day, and now it's trying to break out. Facebook did not help. The tariff stuff from yesterday did help. So if you talk to a bear, they'll point at yesterday at about 350, 355, and they'll go, that's a blow off top. That's a blow off top. And maybe they're right, maybe they're not right, but I'm going to wait for price and risk to tell me. And what's going to tell me whether that is a correct or an incorrect statement is whether or not we're making higher highs off the open this morning, whether we can fill the gap or whether we got a lower high. Look, if we make a lower high and we come back and we break yesterday's low, which is 28.14, well then, yeah, that looks like a blow off top to me. Probably because we're 30-something handles below. But I don't really, my biggest concern is what are the 5 handles in front of us going to do? If you get the 5 handles in front of you right, you'll get the next 5 handles right and the next 5 handles right. Worry about what's in front of you. Don't worry about big targets up or big targets down or this, that, or the other thing. That's more about a headline. That's more about a tweet. It's not about trading. It's not about being consistent. It's not about managing risk. It's not about respecting money. So let's see what 35 to 37 wants to be. That's what we're focused on this morning in the room. I'm expecting a pretty whippy, choppy open, to tell you the truth. And then this market eventually will decide what it wants to do. All right, everybody have a good one. We'll be out with some more stuff on social. I will talk to everybody then. And until then, trade them well. Follow us over on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Princeton Trader. Check us out on Facebook and join us for a free trial at www.princetontrader.com. Trade 'em well.